Hello, today I am setting up something different. I'm not doing camera talk or sound talk. I guess it's DJ, so it's somewhat sound talk. But I'm setting up one of my old computers here that I used to use for DJing, and I want to DJ again on my main channel. So I'm setting up down here so I can just connect to my computer and stream right away if I wanted to. I had space, so I figured I'd use that space up. Here I am struggling quite heavily on why it isn't working. I'm doing some research here and I'm trying to figure things out. I'm also hanging out with my buddy on Twitch and I'm like just really frustrated. It took me 5 hours to really figure it out, but I didn't figure it out and I'm just kind of like not knowing what's happening. This happens all the time for me for some reason, and I don't know what the solution is, but I ended up finding what the solution was. So yeah, I think it was a simple solution, and I just didn't give it a try. Okay, after my God, 3 hours probably of me doing research, trying to figure it out. This happens all the time. Every time I try to set it up, and it always seems to be something weird or random, or something I cannot figure out. But I think I figured it out. I saw somewhere earlier that it said they use a USB hub. I didn't fully pay attention to it, but that was literally all I needed to do. For some strange reason, the computer will recognize um, only one of the decks as an interface. If you plug into USB hub, it will recognize both. And I don't know why that's how it is. I don't know if it's computer or the tractor, but that's how it is, apparently. So, super stupid. I wish there was more info on that. So yeah, I will make a video for my main channel that will actually like explain that a little bit. I think, although like the CDJ 400s, they are old now. I mean, they came out in like what 2011, maybe before that. So I don't know if anyone still has it. Everyone has just one single like player now. I think it's called, I don't know what it's called, but it's not separate. It's just like one USB is a mixer, two decks on it. And I can see why that's so much more appealing. When I first saw it, I was like, I could see the ease of it, you know. But then I think the reliability of it, because computers back then wasn't so great. It didn't seem that good because I've seen some DJs where the laptop dies or something, and then that's it. You know, they have to wait for like 5 minutes or whatever. So this is kind of a backup. Like I like the fact that I could use a CD or USB if I needed to, but I can see the appeal of just having one entire player there. But yeah, it's working now. As you can see, I'm gonna turn this knob, deck A. It's going to scroll. I get to choose what I want on that deck. Right now, deck B is playing. And this is a weird thing that happens all the time. I don't know why, but for some reason, when I assign these, my RCA, the cable seems to switch sides. I don't know why. Right now, this cable is actually from deck A here. It's not playing. This is what's playing. And I don't really know. So every time it happens, instead of me trying to figure it out, I just switch the RCA cables and it works fine. So it's very weird. Very weird. But I'll go through my setup a little bit. This is something you definitely have not seen in this channel yet. This is Pioneer CDJ 400s. CDJs are kind of the industry standards for DJing. This is a Behringer. If you know anything about audio, Behringer kind of has this reputation of being a cheap brand. But Pioneer is like, it's a premium price. It's not crazy expensive, but it's a premium price. And after when I was like buying these, I bought two CDJs, which I think was like 700 each for them. And I didn't really have enough money for a mixer. and I want a new mixer. So I was like, Behringer's a good. This seems to be a really good, like overall. This is actually a really impressive mixer. It does compete with Pioneer a little bit. The only difference is it doesn't have that control cable that Pioneer has. That the way you can function is you can like move the faders to actually start playing the decks. So that's the only advantage that Pioneer has. Otherwise, you got your mic, you have 4 inputs, you have some phonos in there if you want to use turntables. You have your headphones here, the mix here, headphone volume. There's effects in here that you can use. These are solos right here for your headphones. You have crossfade. If you want to use crossfade, you can turn it on off. This is on right now. You can change what the crossfade is. You can see the little different patterns there. These are, I think I've set these for filters. This will cut the low end right here. This will cut the medium end. It's specifically that like A, B crossfade section there. The EQs here, you can these are the same functions here. I think you can change them too if you want. This cuts the low end. This cuts the mid frequencies. This cut the high ends. So it's some pretty cool stuff there. Yeah, and there's multiple outputs. You have your main XLR outputs. You have RCA outputs. You have like a bunch of outputs there. So it's a pretty cool mixer. Like for Behringer and for its price, it's very, very nice. So yeah, but then this is also old. This came out around the same time CDJ 400 came out. So yeah, software wise, I'm using Traktor Pro. I bought this about 10 years ago, and yeah, I don't need to upgrade. But I think I've learned more. Like I don't DJ a lot, so that's why I struggle setting this up all the time. So hopefully I have it set up. My original plan was I was going to route an output from the mixer into this, then that into that. And then I was like, it wasn't working. I don't know what's happening. So I have a really long RCA cable into RCA adapter, 1/4 inch into my line inputs on the back of my interface there. And then the idea is, so this seems like a complicated setup, but it's not that complicated. This computer is dedicated only to do this. So all the audio is being sent to this computer here. And then this is where I'll stream from because it's connected to the internet. That's not connected to the internet. So I plan to stream through this computer, and yeah. And my camera here, I was planning to set up the camera, but then things are working. So I'm setting up a camera, maybe a light. And then I have this is a mini HDMI to full. And then this is to power the camera. Then I have a long USB extension here that hopefully will reach my computer. And I hope I have more ports I can use because I have a lot of ports, my God. So yeah, this is the setup. We'll see if we utilize this camera. We probably won't. But this is kind of temporary for now, I think. I just kind of want to do this for fun and, get back to why I started this industry in the first place. And yeah, hopefully you guys enjoyed that. This was a little different from the other videos I do. No camera talk, not even sound talk really. This involves sound, but it's not about sound engineering. So it's a little different, but I thought I'd include it because it kind of shows you everything I do really. And DJing was what really started my journey into the media world. Okay, it is a success. I have things set up. I have my camera set up. Computer has Traktor running. OBS is open. I'm about to stream onto YouTube and just do a little test. The camera setup here, I've originally ran mini HDMI out, and then I had to use a USB extension, but then I think that's 2.0. So I think the fact that as 2.0, it it struggled on the speed because the Elgato 4K is for 3.0. And then I actually had to add another extension into the computer here onto the back. And then that was lagging yesterday. You know, I wasn't streaming, but I was just looking at it and it was lagging. So I was like, what if I use a wireless transmitter for now at least, just to really test it up. So I grabbed my Hollyland and I've connected that to the receiver over here. That's just plugged into the front. I want this to be more of a permanent setup, so that's not going to be how it's going to be set up. It might be, who knows? I don't know. But then the fact that, you know, the wireless transmitters, they have a little latency, might play a factor. It might not. Also, OBS for some reason is unable to detect my line inputs 3 and 4 here. It can detect the analog ones in the front, but it can't detect the line input in the back. So what I've done is, like I mentioned, I have multiple outputs, right? So this is output A, and this is my output B. A is going out to my interface. B, I'm sending that to my camera. So my camera is receiving the audio, and I'm just sending the audio into my OBS. And that's how it's done right now. So we'll do a little test in a little bit, just live stream, play some trance, and see how well it works. And this is more of a, this is kind of what I wanted to do. I wanted to set up a pretty much permanent setup so I don't have to connect it every time. When I was in my apartment, you know, I couldn't leave my DJ setup because it just took up a lot of space. So I put it away all the time. If I wanted to spin, it's such a hassle to set everything up. Then, like I mentioned, the software issues, which I could probably do better now, was a huge thing. So yeah, the camera setup, I mentioned in a few videos back, I'm probably gonna retire the EOS R, and it'll probably be for this. I don't want it to be set up like that. I just have it like this just because, but I would rather have it top down so we can see it like that. Oop, sorry. Instead of it's a weird angle. So, but yeah, we're getting close. This is actually like pretty cool for me because I'm the type of person who wants to do stuff, but then just getting to the point to start it sometimes is a little hassle, a little difficult. I think a lot of artists kind of struggles with this, like, because once you have everything set up, you might not want to do it anymore, you know? So I'd rather have it set up constantly, and then I can just do it right away. So that's the idea, yeah. And I don't think I'm going to turn this computer off at all. I don't think I'm going to turn this, like, quit the software at all. I think this will stay on constantly as well. And it's not that I'm not afraid of the software issues. I just kind of want to come in and just, you know, play if I wanted to. Like, my computers don't get turned off at all, actually. I close my programs, but they don't get turned off. I'm sorry, I have such a messy desk. But yeah, I think I'm ready to go.